I am sure sports. You know me there, from coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get your sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never seen a game, me not know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you a go love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crap of players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment. Let me know what your thoughts are.
Yo, watch about dog, SK New Earlys, the body out there, Sniper King I represent for I Am Sure Sports. You get to me, I say, when you want the latest news and sports and updates and all of that, check out I Am Sure Sports. You know the thing goes in. Remember, cover the whole island. Remember Kingston, Westmoreland, Galchester, Ocho-Rios, Galtigo Bay, everywhere. I Am Sure Sports, check it out for the latest news and latest updates. Sniper King I represent. Where them feel like, yeah, someone on for the food from we young, from we there, you need height. I Am Sure Sports. Yeah, dog.
Yes, good afternoon, people. Happy Sunday afternoon to you all. It's another one about to drop a very big video today. Going to be a very interesting one, very informative one. And so looking forward to you joining us for this one. And we have a very special sponsor for our video today, Trick Nick. Yeah, Trick Nick Chef, Trick Nick Catering. So watch this, people.
18 Jamaican herbs and spices add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavor made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices. Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices. Add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
To Trick Nick for supporting the work all the way over there in Canada. Yeah, man, using authentic Jamaican products to produce, to make their products and things. So welcome again to I Am Sure Sports. Thanks for joining. Like I said, today is a very special day. I want to thank all the persons who have come on early. I see we have Fresh God Balakar. I see King Jav. So thanks for coming on, and looking forward to spend a couple of hours with you today discussing some very, very interesting sporting topics, particularly surrounding the 1998 World Cup campaign. In fact, after 45 minutes, I'm going to ask some of you to call in and tell me and share with us and the viewers what was your experience like in 1998 when we qualified. What was that for you? What age were you? Where were you? On the 16th of November 1997 when we qualified for the World Cup, a very major historic time. And the following day was a public holiday back then. And so it is not a holiday anymore. But the day of a qualification was declared a public holiday. Some of you may not even remember that if you are younger. But as you know, we are hold on, people. Stop. All right. Now, I want to encourage all of us, right? Recently, I'm going to pay tribute to someone, a nurse who passed away, a nurse that I know very well. She worked at the Kingston Public Hospital. This is someone that I knew personally. She used to be in drama ministry and all of that. Her name is Nurse Dominique Stevens. Young lady, had recently gotten married and contracted the COVID and she passed. And I want to use this opportunity to encourage us, all of us. I want to encourage us to continue to be safe and consider our nurses and doctors and the persons working in the medical field in Jamaica, how exposed they are to this kind of a threat where they can even die. And though they are trying to preserve life, they too are passing away. So in tribute to Dominique Stevens, I really want to encourage all of us on the stream today to take all the precautionary measures so we can get past this. And want to encourage all the nurses and doctors out there to keep on doing the good work you're doing. We appreciate your hard work and your diligence. All right? Yeah, man. So how you doing, people? Body doing well? All right. So listen, let me talk to you a little bit, right? Now, as you know, tomorrow will be celebrated as National Heroes Day. All right, National Heroes Day is a time when we celebrate our national heroes and the heroine Nanny, and also when we honor persons who have done heroic things, at least for that year or over a period of time, and the government honors them different ways. Some get Order of Merit, Order of Distinction, Order of Jamaica, all of these different things, all right? And so though the holiday is actually the 16th, it will be celebrated on Monday. All right, so Monday will be celebrated as Heroes Day. Now, who can tell me when was the first World Cup? When was the first World Cup? You think you know that? You think you know when the first World Cup was? So the first World Cup was held, the finals was held on July 30th in 1930. All right, and Uruguay were the winners of the first. Big up King Jav. King Jav got that one. Coach Minzy from the coaches there. So how come you don't know that, man? You should have these things at the snap of a finger. But 1930 and Uruguay won it. So 1930 to 1998 is 68 years. Right? As a nation, it took 68 years for Jamaica to qualify for a World Cup. All right? So if you add that to when we are here, where we're at now, which is 2021, it is in 89 years as a nation, Jamaica has qualified for one senior World Cup finals. All right? When you remember those figures, in 89 years as a nation, we have qualified for one World Cup finals. All right? Do you know when we played our first World Cup, we participated in the first World Cup finals? All right. What knowledge you're going to get today because I'm going somewhere. Now, between 1930 and 1962, Jamaica did not enter. All right. Our first participation was in 1966, the 1966 World Cup. Tell me did you know that? Big up Trickney Cooks in the place. Yeah, man. Did you know that? Did you know that? Did you know that it was in 1966 that we first participated in a World Cup qualifying campaign? That's the senior men's national team. All right. Our first game was at the newly built National Stadium. Remember, the National Stadium was opened in 1962 at our independence. And the first game we played Cuba, and we defeated Cuba by 2-0. Then we went to Cuba. We played in Havana. We lost. This is the we lost 2-1. Then we play the Netherlands Antilles, right, at the National Stadium. We won 2-0. All right. And then we tied with Netherlands Antilles in the Netherlands Antilles. Then we played Mexico at the National Stadium, and we won 3-2. But then we went to Mexico and we were defeated by 8-0. All right. We lost to Costa Rica and at home in San Juan, and we drew with them at the National Stadium, and we were eliminated. All right. We also participated in the qualifiers, and we were eliminated in the first round in the 1970 qualifiers, right? All of these games were played in San Juan, Costa Rica. And that was a 3-zone playoff between Jamaica, Costa Rica, and Honduras. All right. Did you all know that? Are you learning some stuff? Are somebody correcting me? Somebody correcting me. I see Coach Jerry Miller saying, no, sir. What's going on? Talk to me. You can correct me, But this is the information I get, So I'm here to learn. So if you have other information, please just share with me, because we're going somewhere. All right? We're going somewhere with all of this. All right? So in 1970, that's how it went. In 1974, we did not enter. And then in 1978, we were eliminated in the second qualifying round, having lost 3-1 to Cuba at the National Stadium. And then we lost in Havana 2-0 to Cuba. Again, we did not participate in 1982. We did not participate in the 1986 qualifier because of the political tension in our nation. And then in 1990, we entered, right? We defeated Puerto Rico 2-1 in San Juan, Puerto Rico. And then we defeated them 1-0 at the National Stadium. We drew with the USA in the National Stadium, but the USA defeated us by 5-1 in St. Louis in the United States, and they went through. All right. In 1994, we were eliminated. All right. And then we made the finals of the World Cup in 1998. What say you? 1998, right? Coach Minzy, I bet you never know some of them things. You see ABC questions. Why am I raising this issue? Let's look at it. I've had the privilege of talking to many of our former players, especially players who would have been on the footballing scene from from around 1988 to early 2000. So that would have probably covered the span of us going to Gold Cup and finishing third, going to, right, and qualifying for the World Cup, right? And some of these players really sacrifice a lot to represent the national team. They sacrifice a whole lot to represent the national team because, as you know, financially, the program itself, the national football program, was not very viable. And we never had all the necessary infrastructure and football culture. So a lot of sacrifices were made by players during that time. We qualified for the 1998 World Cup with a lot of sacrifice, especially by the homegrown players. In the second round of the final stages, we introduced Paul Hall, Dean Burton, and Fitzroy Simpson, who were very instrumental in us qualifying for the 1998 World Cup. Now, I know there were big celebrations and a lot of things were done. Um, you know, yeah, a lot of things were done. Short-term things were done for the players who would have been the squad in the qualifying stages. But there were many players who were part of the campaign as well who didn't benefit from a lot of things. So a player may have played 2 games, but when the team initially qualified, they were no longer a part of the squad. And they would also not have gone to the World Cup because remember, it was a set amount of players and they carried an additional 7 players to that World Cup campaign. So all the players who participated, they weren't included in the overall squad because then you had like your Robbie Earl, who came in, Marcus Gill, who came in, Darrell Powell, who came in, and Frank Sinclair, who came into that side. And so some of the players would have been a part of the campaign again were displaced. Some of them who would have lost their place as things progress. Now remember, I'm talking about us celebrating National Heroes Day. In my humble opinion, these players are national heroes. And you may be asking, why do you say that? Because we have only accomplished this in 89 years, once. Only once in 89 years, we have accomplished this. And I believe it is time that we duly recognize these players and celebrate them in the way they ought to. I'm not here to make a plea for them to get money. I'm here to make a plea for them to be recognized and duly honored for what they accomplished and the sacrifices that they made in accomplishing this. What say you? Think about if you're around that time, because some of you may be young. Think about it. How did that experience feel to you when the team qualified on the 16th of November, 1997? How we celebrated, how we jumped and pranced all around. When you think about that, the feeling you had when you saw the team, in the World Cup playing Croatia, and we scored Argentina and Japan. How did that make you feel? How it galvanized the nation. Like they said that it is recorded that there were no recorded murders the day when it was declared a public holiday after the qualification. Jubilant mood right across Jamaica. Duly recognized. And so Rob Simit is preempting me because this is where I'm going. I believe that part of what we need to do. Now, I understand that everything for tomorrow's function is already set and established. So I'm not expecting anything to be changed for what is going to happen tomorrow. But I believe that on the 16th of November, the same day that we qualified for the World Cup, we have a game in Jamaica. On that day, this present group of players will be playing against the United States of America in the same national stadium that we qualified for the World Cup in 1997. Whoa. I need to pause right there and let that sink in. And in the pause, let me just share this. If you know Balakar is probably Bowser's Shamar Nicholson's biggest fan. So he would not be happy if I didn't remind you all that Bowser scored for his team today. Scored a header for his team. Yes, so there you go, Balakar. Bowser scored in his team victory today. Yeah. So think about that, people. We play the United States on the 16th of November, the same day that Jamaica qualified for the World Cup. Yeah. We play them. So here is what I believe we should do. Recognize them at the game like Rob Simit says. Let me bring up Rob Simit comment because that's where I'm going, and I'm going to show you and talk to you and let you know how. All right? They need to be recognized. So all of these players, as many of them available as possible, should be invited to this game, be given special seat and special treatment. That I think before the start of the game, they should walk around or stand before the grandstand and walk around the running track around the field. And the people in the stadium stand and give them resounding round of applause. It doesn't stop there. But that's step one. Wherever they are, as long as they are available and they want to, they must be invited to the game at no expense to them. Meaning between the government and the Jamaica Football Federation, they should be transported to the National Stadium, special seating arrangement for that game against the United States. We should have fans in there to celebrate them for their accomplishment. That means the government will have to make a decision about allowing fans to be in the stadium for that game. We can't have this historic moment. We can't have this historic moment and just have it just fade away like that, as if it is, oh, this is a regular thing. What is regular for Jamaica is medaling at Olympics. What is not regular is qualifying for the World Cups, because we have only done so at the senior level once in 89 years. Do you know the players? Do you know the players? Let's go through. You tell me the names. Bring up some of the names. You have your Warren Barrett, your Aaron Lawrence. You have your Duran Tati Brown, your Ian Pepe Goodison, your Linval Dixon. You have your Ricardo Bibi Gardner. You have your Fabian Davis, your Gregory Messam, your Paul Hall, your Dean Burton, your Fitzroy Simpson, your Theodore Tapper Whitmore has done something that no other Jamaican has yet to do. You have Hector Wright, who was a part of that campaign. Christopher Dawes, Peter Cargill, Paul Young, Dean Sewell, all of these guys and more. Donald Stewart. Come on, give me more names. All the persons who participated in the campaign, not just those who went to the World Cup. Steve Sharty Malcolm, who is not here with us anymore. Winston Anglin, not here with us anymore. Walter Boyd, Anandi Lowe, should be recognized for their role in helping Jamaica qualify for that World Cup. Steve Green, there you go. Look at the names. Call so many of them. Kevin Reed. You're supposed to get me some information in a Kevin Reed. You're supposed to connect me with a ball in a Kevin Reed. The Fabian Davis, yes? All of these guys. So that is step one, because we can't alter what is going to happen tomorrow. But between the JFF, the Ministry of Local Government and the Ministry of Sports, that's step one. Allow fans in the stadium in memory of this historic qualification. Bringing these players first and foremost. Like I said, maybe some are not able to, some don't want to. But imagine with me, fans of I Am Sure Sports. The game is being played in the National Stadium, and all of these past players are there in the stadium. What kind of vibe would that give to our team against the United States in a game I think we're going to need to win? Altiman Butler. Like I said, not just those who went to the World Cup, but those who participated in that campaign. Imagine the kind of vibe that would give to the players. Imagine Damian Lowe seeing his father. Who I think, in my opinion, is better than the son. So, Damian Lowe, if you're watching, that's my opinion. I think your father is a bigger baller for you still. But you're a good baller. But Nana was a complete baller. Could play midfield, center back, forward, controls, pass kick, yeah? I think that should be done. And listen, all you need, Andy Williams, all you need is, those are in Montego Bay, those in St. One bus, just go out early in the morning and pick up the players from wherever they are, or you send them some money to buy some gas if they want to drive their own vehicles. But these guys should be treated royally in the National Stadium, remembering this qualification. People tell me if you agree with me or I'm talking madness. If this happens, I think it will further just lift the mood and spirit of the present team. Many of the players have not been duly recognized. And remember, I'm not talking about giving them money. I'm not talking about giving them land. I'm talking about realizing that this is historic. It may never happen again. In 86 years, it has only happened once. Once in 86 years. Some of these players are living and we don't hear about them. We don't see them. We treat as a nation, we treat our legends. And I want it to change in sports. It happens in the entertainment industry. We're these people who spread reggae music globally and make Jamaica a global brand. A global brand. They don't get recognized while they're alive, and we need to change that. So we are putting it out there. And listen, we have to get past just complaining. No. Here's what we have to do. We have to challenge the powers that be. Because, listen, the people are more powerful than the leaders. Let me say it again. The people are more powerful than the leaders. The problem is the people give all the power to the leaders. Let me say it again. In any society, the people are more powerful than the leaders. The issue is that the people give the power to the leaders. Right? Listen, I understand what you're saying, Garfield Anderson, but let me tell you something. Some of these ballers, I think if you look at the ballers overseas, if they are invited, I am sure that some of them who are overseas would probably buy their own tickets for an occasion like this. Though I think the Federation should find a way of doing it in collaboration with the Ministry of Sports and local government. These are heroes. Heroes. Listen, there are some things that are done in our nation. Right? That people get recognized for. But these kind of things open doors. Let me say this to people. The reason why we can believe that we can qualify for the World Cup today is because of what happened in 1998. Understand that. The reason why today we believe we can qualify is because of what happened in 1998. Up to 1998, no one believed it. So here's the thing. Our reference point will always be 1998. It has to be. The reason why a youngster at Calabar at JC believe they can win the 100 meters at the Olympics is because they saw Usain Bolt do it. If you don't look back at your past, you can't have success in your present. Because it is your past success that stimulates you, that encourages you. That encourages you to believe in the present. To believe in the present. I believe we can qualify today because I have seen it happen. All right, so let me take Siobhan Peart. Siobhan Peart said we need to stop going back to 98 respectfully, man. If we dwell too much on the past, we'll be stuck there. Hence, the reason why we haven't improved. I disagree with this, Siobhan. We are not stuck in the past. All we're saying is that the players need to be honored. Nothing is wrong with saying that they need to be honored. We're not trying to play the football from 98, no. We're not trying to get any of those players from then. Really, all we're trying to do is saying that if these guys qualified, we need to honor them. You go up to the National Stadium, you see Shelley and Fraser Price. Should we go and take down the statue for her? We can't do that because she did something. Her statue is there. There's no footballer statue at the National Stadium. There's no footballer statue up there, right? So that's what I'm saying, Siobhan, man. But I know what you mean. But we have to look back to it because it has given us hope. There you go. If we qualify for 2022, people say, we did it in 2022 said it can happen again. People are going to say, well, it's 2 times. It makes believing more practical. Well, you know what? I love this one, right? Jason Farney can tell the Calabar man them, you know. You know what he says? We saw McKinley do it. And that's why I said the sprinter, because I was talking the 100 meters still. But that's it's 100 meters. Big up Jason Farron. Jason Farron, People, this is Jason Ferrer, one of my mother, my mods. You understand me? But last night him try go around me, you know. Him say me say per what did he say? Per renewal. I never said that, you know. Jason Ferran. I go Calabar to, you know. So mine. All right. So moving right along. Yeah. So let's go back to 1998. Here's what I believe as well. Now, again, we can't be dismissive of we can't be dismissive of what happens in the past, but we must focus on our future and our present. But let me share this with you. It is unfortunate, people. It is unfortunate because outside of them coming to the stadium, here's what needs to be done. By this, people, when the players are coming out of the tunnel, there should be some pictures inside of those tunnels of our Reggae Boyz. There's no way our national stadium should not have by now in those tunnels some of our biggest track and field athletes pictures. Well, they have some athletes outside. But inside the stadium, when you're coming through that tunnel, our players need to be looking on the walls and seeing the Walter Boyds and the Anandelos and the Dean Burtons and the Paul Hall. When the guys come from England, they need to see the Dean Burtons. Damian Lowe need to see his father. We need to see the next 17-year-old coming into the team. The Tyreek Magee need to see Ricardo Bibi Gardner inside that tunnel when they are walking out. They need to see it is full time. The stadiums in the towns where these footballers are from, that pictures of them be painted at least at a minimum through the JFF, the Social Development Fund, the Ministry of Local Government, and the Ministry of Sports. What do I mean by that? Jared Park, and that is the field that the Winston Twinnibog Angling, the Warren Barrett, the Hector Wright, Paul Teagat Davis, Theodore Whitmore, the Winston Angling, Durant Tati Brown, Shorty Malcolm. That was the field in their day. Though it is owned by, I think, the Montego Bay Cricket Club, the government should work in collaboration with them to have pictures of these ballers in that stadium or around that stadium so that the youngsters in Montego Bay will look and say, who is that? And who is that? Listen, this must happen. We need to give honor where honor is due. We need to give honor where honor is due. We need to give honor. We have to give honor where honor is due. And let me tell you this, if you can't recognize, it's just like a child coming up and saying, who is Bob Marley? Take down Bob Marley's statue. That would be crazy. Because whether you listen to Bob Marley or not, what he has done cannot be erased. What Bob Marley has accomplished as an artist will never be erased. Let me tell you this. What those footballers did in Jamaica's footballing landscape, 100 years from now, it will not be erased. Here is what. We have many great footballers that have, well, good footballers, let's use that term, passed through Jamaica. You know the footballers we remember the most? We don't, most of us don't talk about the first Gold Cup, that Jamaica finished third. Most of us don't talk about Shell Cup and Caribbean Cup anymore. We don't. You know what we talk about? The 1998. Because that cannot be erased from the memories of the people. That's how important history is. And it is full time. We say, let's go to Westmoreland. Who are the people? What is the major stadium down there? Which person from Tivoli Gardens? What's the major stadium in the community of Tivoli Garden? Is it Steve Green? Let's paint a picture. Let's put up something of Steve Green and say he participated. And listen, maybe it's going to be ongoing. We can't do it if we keep going to the World Cup year after year after year after year. We can't do it. But listen, the first one is important. First things matter. First things matter. So the first one was important. Again, I'm not asking for monies to be given to them, because doors were open to many of the players. So they should have earned. But I think this kind of recognition publicly and nationwide is important. It is the same way I feel about Veronica Campbell-Brown and Shelley and Fraser Price and all of these people. People tell me about, there you go, Roger Creed. There you go. See somebody saying that yeah, I wasn't born when we qualified, but the World Cup song makes me feel like I was there. There you go. See Jason Ferrand playing it. There you go. Siobhan Pearson management need to realize that football isn't recognized as most of us think in Jamaica. Jamaica only celebrates success, but will follow Arsenal to the death. Why people like to bring up Arsenal in the conversation? Why, I'm telling you. Why you never say follow Manchester United? Why you have to bring up Arsenal, Siobhan Pearson? I'm not going to respond to that Arsenal thing, I'm telling you. Yeah. Yeah, but it's true. I mean, yeah, we want success. Let's use that idea. It's a matter of success. We want success. But this was a success. Many nations have failed. Listen, remember, Trinidad did it after us. After us. You think the fact that we qualified didn't do something to a Caribbean nation like Trinidad, who got close and failed? They believed again that if Jamaica did it, we can do it. We can do it. Panama did it the first time after Jamaica. You don't think the fact that Jamaica qualified did something to the people in Panama, where they said, listen, if Jamaica can do it, we can do it. You know why the players in this present team believe? Because they're saying to themselves, we are better than those players in 1998. We are better than them. If we are better than them, we can do this. We can do this. Because success helps to stimulate people believe. When you see others doing it, you believe you can do it too. They need to be honored. It doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take a lot to pay tribute to people. It doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take a lot. All I'm saying, I'm not talking about quality of team. Even if we say they were not good, they qualified for the World Cup. If we say they are slow, they qualified for the World Cup. I'm not talking about the quality of football. What I'm discussing is that, have we as a nation really honored the people? Have we as a nation honored them? Do you realize that many of our artists, is when they are dead, they get honored? All right, I see Professional Football Club FIFA 20 saying, but watch some, I think, of the old 88 match versus US, basically the same thing I see. Slow, thinking, unable to keep possession, nothing to write home about. All right, so listen. If we go, we can have a separate discussion. We can even say, listen, the team wasn't good. We can call it they qualified by luck. They qualified by buck-ups. They weren't good footballers. Jamaica. We can say all of that. I'm not discussing that. All I am saying is that whether you think it is buck-up, it was luck. They were not good. They qualified, and the fact that they qualified, it is historic, and they should be recognized. That's it. We can have a separate conversation. All right? We can have a separate conversation. But what you can't take away is that they qualified. Many people believe today that Vice Cartel is way better than Bob Marley. It doesn't take away what Bob Marley accomplished. It doesn't. So we are not talking about that. What we are looking at today in this moment is very simple. Have we duly recognized the players for what they accomplish? All right. And all I am asking is that they qualified on the 16th of November, 1997. We played the United States on the 16th of November, 2021. All I am asking is that the Jamaica Football Federation bring these players to the stadium so the people can give them a standing ovation. That has nothing to do with quality of football. It's showing appreciation for what people have done. The second thing I'm asking is that the government of Jamaica, along with the Football Federation, find out what stadiums are in the communities that these players are from, in Jamaica that is, and put some pictures of them, paint pictures of them in the stadiums. Name some of the seats, like this is the Steve Green stand or the Steve Green end, however you want to do it. They do it in cricket. Right? That's all. The other thing is that by now, so the number 3 is by now, we should have in the tunnel when the players are coming out, some pictures of these players. So when the players are coming through the tunnels, they look to their left, they look to their right. They see a Anand Lowe, they see a Walter Boyd, they see a Theodore Whitmore, they see a Hector Wright, they see a Tati Brown, they see a Peter Cargill. They see their pictures. So they begin to believe these guys did it in 1998. We are better than them. We can do this as well. Again, maybe you were not born at that time, so you can't, maybe we can't fully appreciate what was happening. So I'm going to ask some of the persons who were probably adults in that time to call me and let me know what was that like. How did you feel? What was that experience? Because I'm not asking for money for them. I'm not asking that they be given land. I'm not asking any of that. It's just to show honor to the people for what they have accomplished, because it is a historic act. Where's the Luton? I like this, Eddie Goon. I think Harborview needs to do this. This is what I'm saying, right? I believe that Harborview should do this along Luton Shelton. Listen, Luton Shelton picture should be in the tunnel in the stadium. And Harborview needs to put something out there. This is what I'm saying, Eddie Guna. Exactly what I'm saying. We don't treat the people who have done things in this country in the past well. We just think we can forget about them and dismiss them, and we have to stop it. Social media has given younger persons like us the opportunity to highlight some of these things. Many of us didn't know that Hector Wright was the first Jamaican to score in Mexico. We lost the game, but the game was 2-1. And many things happened in that game. Boy, you have to watch it. But we have to. Because one day, let me say this, my friend. One day, you are going to do something that transform this generation. Maybe it's not in sport, right? You could be the one who do something historic in this nation that just lift the mood of the whole nation. And 30, 40 years, nobody remembers you. Nobody speaks about you. Yeah, it's gone, but at least, man, let us recognize people. See, Claudine is asking, how many people remember Alan Skill Cole? Yeah, we did mention we mentioned Robbie Earl, but we were talking about those who played in the qualifier because Robbie Earl never played in the qualifier. He just played in the World Cup, right? You said Eddie Guna did a video and we said we needed a sports museum or Hall of Fame in Jamaica. Make it a tourist. Yeah. Yeah. The Frome Sports Ground should have something down there with Aaron Lawrence. Jared Park, like I told you. The Railway Oval. Out by Harborview for Fowley and whomever was out there. Kling Oval where Ian Goodison is from. The stadiums need to... This can happen, people. It don't take a lot of money. We have enough gifted artists. Shut up, what you call those people who paint? What they call them? Murals? What you call them? Muralist? So if you are around in that time, I want to call and tell me, because some of us need to know how people felt as a Jamaican, you know, that day. So you can call in. Yeah, man, call in and share with us how you felt. What was it things like for you? Yeah. You call him Peter, but what was the experience like for you? Not being in the World Cup, but qualifying for the World Cup. What do you remember most? What sort of impact did it have on you? That's what we want to do. Now we can talk about the kind of steps we need to take. And let me just pause to say this, right? Oftentimes hear people say that back in the days, oh, we were playing so slow. All right, I put it to you. All right, so what we do, and I'm telling you that is why I don't have certain conversations, because it don't make any sense. Whenever you're discussing things, you have to put it in its context. So when you say that the Jamaica team was playing slow, globally, football was played slower. All right, football was played slower. Let me say it again. Globally, not just in Jamaica, football was played slower globally in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and even in the early 90s. Even in England, football was slower than it is now. Watch it. Watch the highlights. Go beyond Jamaica and watch the highlights. It was globally slower. So, when you say that, boy, Pele wasn't good, or Maradona wasn't good, or, you know, the Jamaican players weren't good, look how slow they were playing. Here's what you have to do. You have to understand that if you were to take them and put them in this context, they would have adjusted their game because your talents were that good. That is what you have to do. You can't say it was slower. They were playing based on the context of football at that time. Fine? Yeah. So the truth is that, like, I don't think, if, for example, if Maradona was alive, right, and playing in today's football, I think he's so talented and gifted that he could fit in. But in the context of the time he was playing, he would have looked slower. You check the big names. If you take them and put them in this time, things would be different. They could adjust because they were that talented. The question we have to ask ourselves is this. The question we have to ask ourselves is this. Could the players now play in those times? So I need some of the elders. I saw Coach Karumi you were on earlier. So call in, man. Tell us what it was like. What are some of the things you remember about that campaign? Some of the persons in the chat, they said that they were young. So they can't, they were 5 and 4 and 3 and all of those things. So they don't know much, they don't remember much. Yeah. So bless up Tennessee, Lewis, Jessica, and Shutter. All the mods, bless up, bless up, bless up. Yeah, man, Trick Nick. Listen, people, remember, check out Trick Nick Catering. If you're into jerk, anything at all, his sauces and spice, top notch. He uses in Canada, but uses only Jamaican grown produce to make his products, right? If you use the I am sure sports 001 code, you get a 25% discount. Listen, if you are a cook, you need these things so you can become a chef. Once you add some of these things, you become a chef. Watch this now. If you are a chef and you use these products, you'll become a top class chef, right? And if you can't cook, you just need them. Understand what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. So if you were around in that time, what was it like? How did you feel as a Jamaican footballing fan to know that your nation, your little nation Jamaica, qualified for a World Cup? Like I said, I think we need to give due recognition to these players. No, we don't have to give them money. I don't believe that there needs to be some like pension money saved up to give to players. What I think is that they need to be advised as to how to prepare for pension. As to how to prepare for pension. But I don't think the federation or the government should put aside money for them. Players need to make the correct preparation. Yeah. So fast forward. Again, when did Jamaica qualify? When did Jamaica qualify? Jamaica qualified November 16, 1997. Who scored for Jamaica? Who did Jamaica play? Where was the last game played? And who did Jamaica play? Played against Mexico. in the national stadium, right? Who had already qualified? Remember that Ian Pepe Goodison scored in that game? Was it? We played Mexico. There you go. Yeah. In the stadium. Pandemonium. Pandemonium. And I'm not taking away anything from the present crop of footballers that we have. We have a good team. I think we have some very talented players. We have some very talented players in this team. He was about to be substituted. Jason Ferrano, you're talking like you don't know anything about it. Or is here, you're here. Yeah, man. Bless up Shamar British. Yeah, man. Yeah. It was yesterday. The only thing that changed is technology. Oh, yeah. Mark Chambers still, but a lot of persons in the chat right now, they were like 5 years old and 7 years old, you know. So a lot of them don't know what that feels like. And I mean, the truth is, the thing is that here's what we don't understand with the younger generation. When the younger generation watch EPL now and look back at how football was played in 1997, what do you think they're going to think? They're going to think that is crazy. What kind of football is that? They're going to think what kind of football, because they're basing it based on what they're seeing now, you know. And that is part of the problem. And that is why people will say like a Pele or a Maradona, these guys are not you understand me, they're not up there, because when they look back at clips and tapes in comparison to how fast the game is played right now, they're going to undermine the value. Let me give you an example, right? I don't know if we know this. Right? But a lot of the players who were in that 1998 campaign, can give you some of them. Like, they were in the national team starting at age 18 in their early years. You heard from Hector, right, who said he made a national senior team and was starting and playing at the age of 18. Same thing with Paul Teagat Davis, Ricardo Gardner. A lot of these guys, they weren't 25 when they started out. They were consistent players. So they had time to develop because they were in the national program. They came out of high school and they stepped into the national team. And they were starting at 18 and 19 years old. See, King Job says, based on the clips, I think the technique was better back in the day, but it was played incredibly slow back in the day. Really slow. Okay? Football then was different. Okay? How different Shamar British? See, somebody saying, I remember we used to go to stadium monies when it was looking lightly like that we're going qualify. We would get the stadium. Any too much people, Wagonists take over. You said the Wagonists don't take over Tennessee. Yeah. So people, we need to start doing that. And listen, the truth is, it's not just sports, all right? But because we're talking about sports, but I'm going to give you an example, right? I'm going to give you a good example. You know, there are many persons now who had some teachers in prep or primary school. All right, hold on, people. We have a call. Coming in. Yes, caller.
Blessings, my name's man.
Yeah, man, blessings.
Yeah, man, how's everything?
We're doing good, you know. We're doing good, no caller. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. What's the name?
Charlie Hines, man.
Charlie Hines. Yeah, man.
Yes, man.
Where were you in November 16, 1997? Tell us about it.
I was in the stadium Sometimes they have reached a stadium for about 2-3 hours, sometimes even 4 hours before game time. If you want to get your favorite seat.
Yeah, man. Tell us about the whole day, everything you can remember, what it was like at the end of the game and all of those things.
Basically, in a management, me follow Jamaica football from 1991, from that Shell Cup that they won, and going up till Simos came, and the program was basically a 4-year program. The World Cup didn't qualify, didn't really start out well, because we had ill fighting in the team and issues here and there. And that injection of the 3 English-based players, it did us a world of good, and the program was propelled from there. And that final game, it was against Mexico, right?
Yes, against Mexico at the stadium.
Yeah, yes. And it was like a party atmosphere, Persons said that Mexico didn't come to win, but the office was the office. And no guy coming into that office and leave out of the office feeling proud during that campaign, right? The office was the office, and Mexico came in and know what we're doing, and they just come to safeguard themselves. They didn't want to lose, so they didn't throw the whole kitchen sink and everything at us, and we do what we had to do, and we got the draw. And the point was enough. And tell him, man, after that, it was pure madness in the stadium, man. Person who drive to the match, all the vibes was nice. They even walk and reach crossroad and they feel them pocket their keys still and them pocket as a ratchet. Believe me, Carabas Stadium.
Hold on. People, you hear that? Share that again. Chad.
I know persons who drove to the stadium, and because of the whole celebration and the whole vibes, and when they reach crossroad, they realize that they drive to the stadium, and if they turn back and walk to the stadium for their vehicle, and no man from Swallowfield, no man from Montview, no trouble the vehicle because they're same place, I'm telling you, man, it was something else, and honestly, we can relive those days right now. We have a good opportunity, a good chance to make the best of it now. We just have to, you call it right every day. Sometimes you tend to sugarcoat the thing, and next time you come straight forward and call a speed a speed. I don't believe that the present coach have it, but with help, and if he's willing to listen, he can make history. We don't have to get rid of him if the JFF don't want to do so, but he needs to listen. Because let me tell you, he has some very strong points that I can accept, because the influx of overseas born Jamaica that is coming in, and this time it's not doing the team no good, right? They should have tried and work very hard from before to get them in. They should have used the Gold Cup as that platform to set the team, right? So at least they should start gel going into the finishing the Gold Cup, starting the qualifying, right? I don't know. They said because of paperwork, but if the paperwork can get ready for the qualifier, why they couldn't get ready for
the Gold Cup? Yeah.
That's what's urging us, and I know that's one of the things that we were is bad enough, is upset about, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I can't really accept from these players, because they could have put all the effort to make it for the qualifier. They could have done the same for the Gold Cup.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's no doubt
Very good point, caller. Very good point. What I also want to ask you, what are your thoughts on taking time out to honor some of the past players, like I was suggesting for the game on the 16th? Do you agree? Do you disagree? You know, what are your thoughts on that? Should it be left alone, or we should look at honoring our past footballers as a collaboration with government and probably the mayors in the different parishes, like I was suggesting. What are your thoughts on that in the major stadiums?
It's a very good suggestion, and I don't know if the GFF would take it up, because it is the ego that's hurting the JFF right now. Because with a suggestion like that, man, they shouldn't have to think twice. They should just grab it up and just run with it. Let me call Busy Campbell and put it to him, and he would have run with it. Too much ego in that top brass, because everybody want their footprint, everybody want their praise. They don't want to say, oh, a management give you the idea. But it's a very good idea, because listen to me, especially when the team is in Jamaica, and just like how they are doing a lot of charter flights, a lot of ex-players, as long as they are available, as long as they are willing, they can travel with the team, right? They can travel with the team. Nothing is wrong with that, because with more.
But people complaining that the delegation big already, or we should take out some of the people out of the delegation and put in some of the former players as motivators and part of the coaching staff. Is that what you're suggesting?
Management, listen to me. We know you know what they want, you know. We can't tell us. We know what they want. And on delegation, right?
Okay.
A body system. Because here I want. You vote for me, me give you a trip. You vote for me, me give you a trip. You cover me, me give you a trip. It's a spread thing going on, right? And it is not just now, right? That's why the whole voting system need to change up altogether, so that it can be transparent and it can be fair, right?
Yeah.
Because believe you me, yes, rest in peace, the great captain, right? If you had everybody else who was there during captain time, and yes, Ricketts took over.
Yes, caller.
Ricketts took over. Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, man, hearing you still.
Yeah, sorry about that. I can't get it. Ricketts took over, and yes, he wanted his own mandate, right? But the little that I saw of him, and the much that I know of him, he's just a team player, right? To be a president of the Jamaica Football Federation, you have to be like a man who can take charge, who can make that big decision.
Okay.
Right? And all of yes, they were saying that captain was this, captain was that, and it was too authoritative and things like that. But that's what a good leader sometimes do. That's what it really needs, right? Because no, every decision that has to be made is going to a committee.
Okay, so what you're suggesting is that some of the things the leader have to take the bull by the horn.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's what it needs. Because let me tell you something. When I listen to Enterprise in your interview recently, and Enterprise said yes, he have dialogue with more and things like that. And some of the same things that Whitmore believe in is the same thing that Enterprise believe in, right? And let me tell you this: we need the overseas born Jamaican.
Definitely. We need a merger. We need a merger of both.
Yes, and we're with more and the JFF falter. They should have taken the blueprint that was left by Simos and Borrell and try to have a local base.
Yeah.
Have a local base at all time. That sometimes all you need is an injection of 1, 2, 3, 4 persons, right? But the thing about it, man, is from a player's target recognition is going to be going overseas, right?
Yeah.
So that's where the football is now. But that doesn't stop him from having a local base in Jamaica, going through, teaching them stuff and so forth and so forth. Because there's no way he should have gone back for ACA.
Yeah. Yeah, but with that, well, understand you, but I mean that is true. But when you look at his last performance, you can say, well, it worked for this window. So let us look what can happen for the next window. Because the truth is, it did, yeah.
Kudos to
Yeah.
ACA. I'm not taking anything
away from him. Yes.
I'm just looking. I'm just a future looking into the future.
Yeah.
How much more years?
He has on him. Yeah.
Right. That means that we must have seen the problem and identify a ladder and say, listen, I want you to be my defensive mid.
Yeah.
Come on and do what it takes. Right? But it's not an easy road, it's not an easy job. But something could have been done and with a better still. Right now, I'm telling you, I'm just hopeful. My expectation is very low. But I'm just hopeful and I'm just praying that he get it right. Yeah, because if you can't get it right, the team won't get it right.
Yeah, man. All right, Chadzian, thanks for the call. Really, really appreciate it and you sharing your views, giving us an idea as to how things were for you on that day when we qualified in 1997. Hope that this generation of youngsters will live that experience this time around. And that when 2022 comes, we can say,
yeah. You see how much you love it, because you come from Western Jamaica, and them tell you because meet up your school now. Really, they going now. Just meet up your school. Enough.
No, man. The two high schools I went to, William Nib can't beat us in nothing. Not even jocks. So don't bother go there. So don't get. If you get into the school bantering, you're gonna lose, So leave it alone.
You have two best left foot player within 1985, 86, 87, 88. That Hector Wright wasn't the best left foot player in the Casa at that time. You have a player named Chuale da Silva.
Yes.
I don't know if you heard of him.
No. What was Chuale Silva?
Chuale da Silva.
Oh, da Silva. I've heard about that name, but I've never seen him play, but I've heard the name before.
Yeah, man. If you ask Eki about it, Eki will tell about him, man. Eki Menace, man, best left footer. He made Warren Barr stretch out till he tear out and everything.
Yeah, but where did the team? What I'm saying though is that be careful now, because when you talk about the two schools, high schools that I've been a part of, if I call them out, you're gonna say, all right, Mannings, man, you're right, I'm telling you, One is Mannings, and one is on Red Hills Road, because I was at 6, so I'm at the one at Red Hills Road, so be careful now. William Nib can't beat none of them two schools, But take care, Chadsy. Yeah, man. All right, blessed. Yeah. All right, people. Yeah, man. Blessings. We have Kimo. Kimo, you're there. Kimo is going to be joining us. I don't know if Kimo was around at that time, but Kimo is a soldier now, so he's going to tell us if he's around in what he remembers about the 1998 campaign.
Funny how I only can say.
Kimo, you can. Yeah.
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 It's funny that I can say it's only history for me. That's like 3 years after I was born. The 98 World Cup.
3 years after you were born?
Yeah, 3 years. The 98 World Cup was 3 years after I was born. So basically it was this. All I used to see is that the squad picture, maybe an almanac or a poster, and the little documentaries.
You don't remember anything about it. Your parents don't talk about it. Nothing at all.
Well, my cousin played for Harborview Football Club. Was a goalkeeper, Mitchard Barrett, at the time, who won the Premier League a few times, about 3 times with them. played with Lovell Palm.
Okay.
So they had the experience. He was going to high school at the time. So I would hear it from them. But personally, I wish I was around to compare now and then.
Yeah, and that is the thing. I think what is happening is because like sometimes you have to certain things you have to be in the moment.
Yeah,
It's like we will never be able to tell a child 20 years from now, you won't be able to explain to a child what Usain Bolt accomplished. It's almost like unless you're in the moment,
yeah, you were there.
it yeah, unless you're in the
Feel a
moment,
part of it, man.
yeah. And I think you'd have to be around in the moment in 1998 to kind of understand what that felt like for some persons. I hear Claudine H saying earlier that I mean she was just honking her horn. This is a female driving up and down. Like people are even afraid to go out. No, but even females. And during that time, I felt like everything was so peaceful and tranquil. People could go up and down all over. I mean, the mood of the nation, and this is why I think that this campaign is so important because our nation is not at a good place right now in terms of
No,
everything. And
no, it isn't.
if we could just get this team to qualify, it would transform so many things.
Yes, yes, it could. Yes, it could, of course. Regardless, the country, we know most people in the country loves football than track and field. It's just that track and field brings a bit of excitement, you know. Most people only watch track and field as it lead up to the finals. But I'm sure that football does bring a lot of excitement. And if this Reggae Boys team continue to win and we have fans in the stadium, you'll see a whole different mood and vibes around in the football. And in the streets, it would be a talk of the town right throughout this campaign leading up to the World Cup if we do qualify. So a lot would change in the country. I mean, this even would give the corporate people ideas and jump on board. The prime minister as well. You
Yeah.
understand? Other young persons coming up want being distracted, trying to lead into crime and violence when they see what the football team is doing. A lot of them would have aspiration in playing football and want to become a footballer and reach thus far, just as some of these players. Because I'm sure at that time we will get a lot more potential UK based players at the time, knowing that we are doing good. I mean, two wins from in the October window, because it's solely two games alone we would be playing. You understand? We have El Salvador first with the build up for that game at the National Stadium. I saw something earlier that they are considering again funds for the November window for that game. It's our anniversary, so I think it's really important and it means a lot to the team. So hopefully we do have at least 50% in the stands. And you'll see that vibe. I'm telling you, the people want it also. These people want it. If they know that if they get vaccinated, fans will be in the stands. You'll see how many tickets or how fast those tickets sold out. You never might know that there were so many people living in Jamaica that was actually vaccinated.
Yeah, well, we will see. We'll see. People, here's what I always hear this thing, right? I always hear people saying that, this, who is more talented? This group of player, that group of player. Listen, because of how football is, it can be so different. In eras are so different. It's hard to compare. Like when a person look, especially when it's so close, right? You look at past and present players. I mean, when it is close, it's hard to distinguish who is actually better. But when you look at the 1998, like a best 11 out of 1998, based on players that have played, we're not talking about all those who are available. All right. Because when we look at all the players who could possibly play for Jamaica, we could go from the Mason Holgate, call all of the names. But let's look at the players that have played for Jamaica, all right? And then look at those who, like the strongest. So I need someone from 1998, around that time, to give me the best starting 11 from the players available. And let's match them up with the best starting 11 from now and see what that is like. Because when you go back to you definitely, you probably, so we could do that. Who would we put in goal? So let me get squad builder and let me see if we can do a combined 11. All right. Let's go to squad builder. I don't know if we'll find some of the names, but we are going to try. And let's use the formation that the coach presently uses, which is 4-2-3-1. All right. So we're going to try that and see if we can do a combined team of players from 1998 and those in the present squad and see who would possibly make it and who would not. All right, let's see if this works. All right. Hope you're seeing that. Hope you're seeing that, everyone. All right. So let's do that. Let us get this. Let's get this off. There you go. All right. So let's go. All right. So we're definitely going to put, I think, Andre Blake is probably going to be the person in goal because I think he is one of the, I would say he's probably the best keeper we have had. All right. So let's go with Andre Blake in goal. All right. Who is at left back? So let's get some. I am not going to put in names, but I select that one. Who plays at left back for you? Do you go with Kemar Taxi Lawrence or do you go with Ricardo Bibi Gardner? Because those are the two options.
I will go with Bibi Gardner.
All right. How many persons say Bibi Gardner? Come, people, quickly. Bibi. All right. So that's two. The first 5 votes I get, that's what I'm going to work it. We have Blake in goal already, Travis. That's you understand. We are at left back. Bibi or Taxi. Bibi or Taxi. All right. Everybody say Bibi. All right. So Bibi goes at left back. All right. I wonder if we can find Ricardo Gardner. Could be able to. Ricardo. I doubt these names are going to be there, no. I doubt these names are going to be there. There you go. We're not going to find some of the older player names, but I doubt it. Yeah. All right. So I doubt this going to work, but let's look at it. Let's call out the 11. Because we're not going to be able to find the older players' name. But Bibi would be at Bibi. Most persons say Bibi would be at left back. All right. Now the two center backs you can go with. You have
Goodison.
Ian Pepe Goodison, Linval Dixon, Durant Tati Brown. Any of those, any two of those versus who are the center backs we have now? Damian Lowe, Mariappa, Liam Moore, Ethan Pinnock. Who are you choosing?
I honestly will go with Ian Goodison and Mariappa for this one.
All right, let me hear people. Which two are you going with? Based on what you have seen, Goodison is one. Who is the next one? Goodison and Maps. I see Travis saying Goodison and Maps. Oh, Blue Mountain is saying that he would go with. I just thought like everybody would go with Blake, but Blue Mountain Entertainment Group is saying that he would go with Aaron Lawrence. We're gonna come back to that. Tati Brown. All right, so we have. Let me type in the name Blake, Bibi. I see Goodison. I see Goodison and Brown are the two common names coming up. Goodison and Tati. I only see a couple of persons having Mariappa. Only 2 persons. So more persons are saying Goodison and Brown starting. Tati and Mariappa. Whoa. Ian Goodison. See it? Ian Goodison and Durant Brown. Goodison Brown. Somebody said Tati. Goodison again. Goodison Maps. Goodison. Tati and Goodison. Most people saying Tati and Goodison. All right. So we're going with Tati and Goodison. Who plays right back? Alvas Powell, O'Neal Fisher, Javane Brown, Wes Harding, or Frank Sinclair, Sharty Malcolm, Dean Sewell, Fabian Davis. Because those were the 4 right backs. Who plays right back?
Shorty Malcolm for me.
Sharty Malcolm, all right.
All is here. I don't know much, but all is here and talk about him. So, yeah.
Sharty Malcolm. Somebody no, Rhapsody. We're not doing that. We're not playing no man out of them position. Every man have to play them. If you can't make the team in your position, you're not going to make the team. All right. But everybody's saying Sharty. But people here, we're saying that there's more quality now than in 1998. But look so far, the entire defense line in the 1998 team. So far, somebody's saying Dean Sewell over Sharty. And just to let you know, people, on Wednesday, we are going to be doing an interview with Dean Sewell. We're going to have Dean Sewell on the show, and we're going to have, on Monday, we're going to have Linval Pala Wilson on the show, and then on Tuesday, we're going to have Andrew Elder McBailey on the show. All right, so stay tuned for those interviews. Okay, so some people are saying Dean Sewell, but most people are saying Sharty Malcolm. No. In midfield, you have Christopher Dawes, Peter Cargill. I think at the World Cup they had Darrell. What is his name? Darrell Moore. Or Darrell Powell. Hector Wright also played some games. And also who played some games? Winston Anglin played some games. So who are you using? Because remember now it's 2 in the midfield. Which 2 are you using in holding midfield? Which 2 are you using in holding midfield? Peter Cargill. Yes, Carla, good afternoon. Welcome to I'm Sure Sports. Yeah, man. What's Tennessee, what say you? You have your starting 11?
No, I'm on the road, so I was just thinking the program about the 98 team, but I was around at that time. But I think this team that we have now is a more talented bunch of players.
Yeah?
Yeah, man, especially those coming out of England. I think they're more talented bunch of players, man, because we never had so much Premier League players back in that time.
Okay. But all right, so what I want to ask you is, but we're trying to pick a combined 11, and so far we have Bibi, Goodison, Tati Brown, and Malcolm starting in defense because most people didn't select one of the present defenders in their starting 11.
Okay, so who's the goalkeeper?
Andre Blake.
Yeah, after me.
In midfield, they have Peter Cargill. What do you think? You would play Grant over Cargill?
No, I think I'd play Cargill.
Okay. All right. Is there any player you'd start in the team over Fitzroy Simpson? Box to box.
Right now?
Yeah.
No, not right now. No.
But you see what you're going to run into. When you look at it that way, do you realize what is happening?
Yeah, that's true.
There you go. That more of the players from 98 would make a team when we're selecting it. So some people are saying...
Well, I think Ethan Pinnock could have started in the defense though.
Ethan Pinnock? You'd start Ethan Pinnock over Pepe?
Yeah, man.
Okay. All right, Tennessee. Let's see. But nobody really called his name, you know. Because what they're doing, they're looking... looking at his performances, and for whatever reason that they have not. But yeah.
No, remember, say, England play maybe, one good game for Jamaica.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Yeah, but what you need to do is that when you come back on, you need to look in the chat because we are selecting the team, and then you can see the team. And then what I want you to do is to put in your team, select your team, and put it in the chat so I can post it on the screen.
Okay.
Yeah, man. All right then, Tennessee. Thanks for the call. Yeah, man. So in a 4-3-3, we're playing Peter Cargill, Fitzroy Simpson, and who is a attacking midfielder? Theodore Tapper Whitmore. Who in this present? So you have Theodore Tapper Whitmore. Was Andy Williams a part of that campaign? I think so. Andy Williams to choose from. And then you have Fitzroy Simpson as the box-to-box. So who are you starting in midfield? Who are the three midfielders? I see some people having Cargill and Dawes, Cargill and Grant, but you're only using one holding midfield line because we're using 3 forwards. We're playing 4 in defense, 3 in midfield, and 3 up front. So Cargill, do you put Fitzroy Simpson beside him? Do you put Daniel Johnson instead? Who? Do you put Haka, Speedy? Some people are saying Tapper makes the team.
Tapper makes the team.
All right. So who else plays in midfield? You have Fitzroy Simpson. You have Daniel Johnson. You have Bobby Reed. Yeah. Who again? Ravel Morrison.
You know, one Ravel.
So we need a next midfielder. You're starting Ravel. Let me see how many people call out for Ravel in the midfield. Tyreek McGee.
What?
Junior Fleming. Haka. So Tapper is in there, man. All right, so we need to figure out who's the next midfielder. Then we're playing 3 up front. We need a center forward. We need one on the right, one on the left. Peter Cargill is also already in it. Cargill is there. So we need a next. We have Cargill, we have Tapper. We need one more midfielder. Who are your 3 forwards? You have Leon Bailey. You have the Walter Boyd. You have Marcus Gale. You have Robbie Earl. You have Shamar Nicholson. You have Mikel Antonio. You have Jamal Lowe. You have Andre Gray. You have Kemar Roof. Did I say Walter Boyd? Dean Burton. Walter Boyd, Dean Burton, Paul Hall. Who are your 3 forwards? All right, somebody's saying that Ravel makes the team. Somebody said Bailey makes the team. All right. Bailey. And there's a Blacker Boyd. And Dean Burton. All right. So that would be a starting 11. The starting 11, we can change it up and it would be Blake in goal, Bibi, Goodison, Brown, and Malcolm in defense. Cargill, Tapper, and Ravel in midfield. Bailey, Boyd, and Burton up front. All right. Tennessee saying Leon Bailey, Gray, and Antonio. You're really starting out Gray over Walter Boyd? Oh my. Gray starting over Dean Burton? That's a tough one, Tennessee. You don't have no Walter Boyd in it. What say you people? Some people saying Hector right in midfield as well. That's a good shout. Somebody saying, look at this one. Anandilo, center forward and Pearl right. Pearl left, Leon right, and what? All right, so do we take out Burton and put in Antonio or Lowe? Who do you use? If you had a choice between Anandilo and Mikel Antonio, who do you use? Who do you use, Kimo?
If I had the chance to use who?
Mikel Antonio and Anandelo.
I'll use Mikel Antonio, of course.
Based on what?
Based on what?
Yeah.
Okay, so I did not see much of him, of Anandelo. Maybe if I did saw him, it was in the latter part of his national career, you know. But now I think I'll go with Antonio because Antonio is playing at the highest level. You understand? That
No,
is
but
one. Yeah.
okay. But if you're using, all right. So if you're talking about people playing at the highest level, none of these guys in it should be in it. Then that mean if you're talking about the high, that's why we can't use that, because if you use playing at the highest level, Ian Goodison never wasn't playing at the highest level, so he should not be in the team. Durant Brown wasn't playing at the highest level, he shouldn't be in the team. Cargill wasn't playing at the highest level. Cargill wasn't playing at the so you can't use the highest level.
Well, it's just my opinion.
Yeah, all right.
Well, I just use that because, as I said, it's kind of rough for me personally because I
Because you
did not
didn't see
see much
them.
of it. Yeah, so it's hard.
Okay. All
I
right.
know. I know you'd use Onandi though.
Yeah, you know that listen, here's the thing. Like, I think Anandelo, to me, played defense better for Jamaica, in my opinion, than he played
So he was
forward.
a utility player.
Yeah, there's no listen, Anandelo kept for Jamaica. If a man get red card, Anandelo going in the goal. Anandelo play center back, Anandelo play midfield, Anandelo play forward. And he's I'm telling you, I am convinced that Anandelo is a cut above his son. That's my opinion, right? He controls, he passes, he heads, he kicks the ball very well. He has long passes. Some person are saying Dean Burton over Antonio though, because Dean Burton would score a goal.
It's kind of hard to pick Antonio as well when you look at the things right now because for Jamaica, we're talking for Jamaica, not for club now.
Yeah.
He hasn't done much, even though he hasn't got the time and the
This is
games under his belt.
and this is a very good point as well, that if this present team makes the World Cup, it would be hard for these guys to make from the 1998. I think that is it. If these guys fail to qualify for the World Cup, it's going to, people will not give them the kind of ratings as the 98 team. I think when it comes down to Jamaica national team, now we can rate them at club level and say they are this, but when it comes down to the national team, I think this group of players need to qualify for the World Cup. Yeah. So what do you think, people, of this starting 11? Is it good enough? But one thing I know is that, so we have to be careful. When I look at this, I think we have to be careful how we measure things, because when you look at a combined 11, you'll probably find some better players playing for Jamaica in the 98 team than players playing now. Though some of these present players are playing at what you call a higher level. I think that is the challenge. Yeah. Kimo, look like you're frozen.
Yeah, better now, yes.
Yeah.
So you're saying?
Yes, I am saying that it's hard to make these kind of comparisons, because if these guys know, if this present team now qualifies for the World Cup, and you pick a combined 11, maybe all of them going to be in it. But you see, that is how he started in 1998, because you cannot not pick players to qualify for the World Cup when a next set of players have not accomplished that.
And
You understand?
it even would be much harder if we qualified for maybe 2010 World Cup, because you'd have so many more players to pick from. So it would be even harder. But knowing for now, it's just them. They make these legends from the 1998 World Cup. So that's the only way they can actually overshadow the 1998 squad.
Yeah.
If they qualify for the 2022.
Yeah. Yep. But listen, do we have I mean, it's just like if you're picking a Jamaica team and you look at Walter Boyd, it's hard to pick the team and not have Walter Boyd in it. That's how good many people think Walter Boyd was.
Yeah. But are the are the players considering these things? Because if the players are considering these things as well, it's good. I think it's good. They want their names to be there.
Exactly.
They want to be
Exactly.
legends as well. So
And that is
it's not just qualifying, trying to win the games. If they look on it on different perspectives, you understand? They go those who came on roof. I mean, those Jamal or those Bobby Reed, those Ethan Pino, they will go down as a legend, just as the Dean Burtons.
yeah, but you know
You
what the
understand?
truth is? Like, and this is why I'm telling you, the important part for many Jamaicans is not if we get to the World Cup you join. Like, I think with Jamaica national team, Dean Burton, Paul Hall, and Fitzroy Simpson holds a place in the heart of Jamaicans that Robbie Earl don't have, that Marcus Gill don't have, that Frank Sinclair don't have, that Darrell Powell don't have. And you know why? Because those guys didn't play in the campaign. They played in the World Cup and they never came back. I think probably Frank Sinclair came back after the World Cup.
Really?
Yeah. And I
So
think that
after the campaign, you're telling me that those guys did not
they
did not
didn't play for Robbie Earl
they
didn't
won't,
play for Robbie Earl didn't play for Jamaica again.
not even in no games after they were a part of the campaign, or they were a part of the campaign leading up, or
No, they just played in the World Cup.
oh, and that's really
I
sad.
think with the exception of Frank Sinclair, who came back and played some games. But the rest of them, well, Powell came back, but I know Robbie Earl retired from football.
Oh,
So he just
well,
went
if
to the
he,
World. He just
well,
went
if
to
he,
the
re-
World Cup from
well, if
international football. But think about it though. You just come to the World Cup and gone.
yeah, that confidence should be there. It's the World Cup. There are many great footballers that did not play in the World Cup. Look at Ryan Giggs. I mean, Ryan Giggs will give up maybe one of those trophies just to play in the World Cup.
Yeah. All right. All right. Blue Mountain Entertainment Group. I mean, you said that Walter Boyd was average. In what context though? Oh yeah. Oh, Tennessee said that. Yeah, man. Gale came back, and Frank Sinclair played a few games after that. But I'm very sure that Robbie Earl, the World Cup was it. He just played in the World Cup and he never played for Jamaica again. I stand to be corrected, but I'm almost certain because many of the players had a problem with that. I think that was where this whole issue came up. Yes, I wrote half the team. No, man, listen, all right? So here's what. No, I did not say, oh my Lord. Listen, of course, Dean Burton came back and Paul Hall came back. I didn't say that. Did Robbie Earl come back and play in the next campaign? That's all I'm asking, Ron Manning. I've mentioned Robbie Earl, not the entire team. I've just
Was
mentioned Robbie Earl.
Ricardo
So
Fuller wasn't a part of the squad?
So let me ask again. No, man, let me just answer. No, he wasn't. Ricardo Manning, Warren Manning. All I said is that Robbie Earl, I'm sure didn't come back. I said I stand to be corrected on the others. I could never mention that about Paul Hall and Dean Burton. Robbie Earl came into the World Cup. He played the game. If he came back, I don't remember. You can correct me. That's all I'm saying. You can correct me. So I'm not talking about all the players. I'm talking about the fact that many people were disgruntled in the team that Robbie Earl only came and played in the World Cup. Maybe he did. Don't remember. All right. Yeah. But the 1998 campaign, it was an eye-opener for football. We have around 11. Yeah, Fuller came back. Fuller got in the side after the 1998 campaign. Yeah, man. A lot of those guys. Fuller is still young, you know. I played under 21 against Ricardo Fuller.
Oh,
So here's somebody confirming that you know the only one never came, but the rest kept playing on. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah. All right, people, we have 10 minutes left before. Remember, this video is sponsored by Trick Nick Cook. Right? Use the coupon code I am sure sports 001 for 25% discount on all Trick Nick products. If you can cook, you need it. If you can't cook, you need it. Because some people are cooks, some people are chef. If you're a chef, you need it so you can be a top chef. If you're a cook, you need all of these products. You just put them on your jerk marinade and paste and all of those things. People, they need to get them, check them out at www.tricknick.ca. You can shop there and get all the Trick Nick product. 25% discount right now. Just hit them with the code I am sure sports 000, 2 zeros under 1, and you get discount at tricknick.ca. Yep. Yeah, man. Fuller was not a part of that 1998 team. I am sure. All right, let me see this. The big giant football in the book of Guinness World Record. The money should be still paying the pension. You said the money should be still paying the pension. Yeah. Earl, that's what I'm saying. Robbie Earl never came back. But a lot of people were saying that. Why did we even, although he scored, you know that Robbie Earl scored for Jamaica in the first game against Croatia, right? In fact, one of the things that came up is that the formation was changed because the formation was changed by the head coach because of his relationship with Robbie Earl to play 4-4-2 so that Robbie Earl could be a part of the team. I don't know, but that was part of the rumors that came out of the 1998 campaign. Very interesting fact right there. Digital home tech, your name in your starting 11. So I don't see you putting any of the current players in your team. Because we have some good current players, and I think we have some good players. I am fascinated to hear what people are going to say about Junior Fleming. Know that Junior Fleming could be possibly moving to League One or League Two. What are we going to say? Andre Blake, that I've always told people that I believe that worldwide, many people don't believe me. I think he's a top 20 goalkeeper right now in the world. And if he were in one of the top leagues in Europe, you would see that. But because he plays in the MLS, we don't get to see that. So there are rumors saying that he could be moving out of the United States into Europe soon. And that would be good for his career. And we would love to see that. But one of the things I want to say is that I am glad for players like Junior Fleming, that even though sometimes as fans we never believed in him, the coaching staff, they kept believing, and this has opened up a door for him. And I hope the opportunity comes so that he can improve his own career. And I mean, he's 25 now, so you think like at the top level, you have like a 3-year window, and I hope that he will make the most of that window and and excel. So I'm very, very grateful for the opportunity that he's getting, and if it comes through, I hope he makes the best or the most of it. Yeah. So people, listen, like the video. Please, you jump onto the stream, like the video. Before you leave the stream, like the video. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe. Remember, 11 a.m. tomorrow, we'll be discussing and talking football with Linval Pala Wilson. He's a triple champion with Reno out of Westmoreland, right? He's a coach right now, represented the national team as well. And so he's going to be talking to us. We're going to have Andrew Eldermont Bailey. Listen, you need to check the stories of this guy. You understand me? Was a part of a Veer team that was dominant back in the days. And then we have Dean Sewell, Constant Spring, legend. When you talk about Dean Sewell, you talk about Lincoln Tuff, you talk about Trevor Lamb, you talk about Marvin Chin, you talk about Fabian Watkins, and that Danny Lynn coach Constant Spring team, and so many others that I mean went all the way to the finals of the Premier League at that time. Yeah. Yeah. Here's it, man. As I've even heard Marcus Gill talking about it, man. He was saying they never spoke from that time. All the players was upset. Gill said it. Yeah. 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 People, the principal have arrived, and she has just reliably informed us that she ate some curry goat. So I don't know if Claudine H want to share some dinner with us, but if you're nearby, you can check her out. She just curried up some goat. You understand me? Cause that ain't me. Yeah, that ain't me. So big interviews coming up this week, right? What you're saying, Blue Mountain? You don't care if he plays. To me, I've been around for a long time. I play ball myself, so I know players. Yeah, listen, I will say this. Listen, sometimes people take longer to develop than some. I always say this, right? If a player can be playing his trade professionally, because he's a professional footballer, it does say that somebody sees some, quality in him. We may not see it. We may not see it, but somebody else sees it. And the truth is that somebody else has seen something that we have not seen. And so if he's going to be rewarded for that, we're not going to hate on it. You understand me? I am happy. Every time a Jamaican gets an opportunity, I am happy. Especially in football, because it's so hard for them to break through into the thing. So I'm always happy when Jamaicans get this opportunity to express themselves and their talent in the sport of football. I'm happy for that. And so the fact that he gets this, I'm happy. And I want more Jamaican youngsters to get this opportunity, even if some of us don't believe that they are the best talent. I think it is important for them and for the other youngsters looking on. So I'm happy for him. I'm very, very happy for him. And I hope he makes the most of this opportunity, and it helps to make him a better player so he can produce better results for the national team. Listen, people, I want to thank you. This is a 2-hour stream because we have to prepare for our show for the rest of the week. We also have our NFL show coming up this week as well. We started that new feature, and check out the first video that we did. Chris Lynch and G Star and Preacher was on, and they were giving some expert views on the National Football League. You'd have watched the game today with Miami Dolphins and the Jacksonville Jaguar. What a play at the end, right? And so they are going to give you more predictions on Wednesday as well. So stay tuned for that. They're going to have Pioneer joining them, and Countryman will be on that show with them. So it's going to be a blast. I don't want you to miss it. Listen, subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. And remember, check out Tricknick Catering. Buy all your jerk products, whatever you're going to be jerking. Chicken, fish, alligator, crocodile, whatever you're going to jerk. I don't know. You understand me? Use the code I am sure sports 001 for your 25% discount. Listen, in fact, check them out. Let me just add this for you people.
Jamaican herbs and spices add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce. Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices. Add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
I am sure sports. You know me there, from coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get your sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you a go love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.